things done in the midnight sun by the men who moil for gold. The Arctic trails have the secret sails that would make your blood run cold. The northern lights have seen strange sights, but the strangest they ever did see was that night on the marge of Lake Labarge. I cremated Sam McGee. Now Sam McGee was from Tennessee, where the cotton blooms and blows, while he left his home in the south to roam round the pole, God only knows. He was always cold, but the land of gold seemed to hold him like a spell, though he'd often say in his homely way that he'd sooner live in hell. Day we were mushing our way over the Dawson Trail. Talk of your cold through the Parker's fold, it stabbed like a driven nail. If our eyes we'd closed and the lashes froze till sometimes we couldn't see. It wasn't much fun, but the only one to whimper was Sam McGee. And that very night as we lay packed tight in our robes beneath the snow, and our dogs were fed and the stars o'erhead were dancing heel and toe, he turned to me and cat says he, I'll cash in this trip I guess. And if I do, I'm asking that you won't refuse my last request. Well, it seemed so low that I couldn't say no. Then he says with a sort of moan, it's a cursed cold and it's got right hold till I'm chilled clean through to the bone. Yet tank being dead is my awful dread of the icy grave that pains. So I want you to swear that foul or fair you'll cremate my last remains. A pal's last need is a thing to heed, so I swore I would not fail. And we started on at the streak of dawn, but God, he looked ghastly pale. He crouched on the sleigh and he raved all day of his home in Tennessee. And before nightfall a corpse was all that was left of Sam McGee. There wasn't a breath in that land of death, then I hurried horror-driven, with a corpse half hid that I couldn't get rid because of a promise given. It was lashed to the sleigh and it seemed to say, you may tax your brawn and brains, but you promised true and it's up to you to cremate those last remains. Now a promise made is a debt unpaid, and the trail has its own stern code. In the days to come, though my lips were dumb, in my heart how I curse that load. In the long, long night, by the low firelight, while the huskies round in a ring howled out their woes to the homeless snows. Oh God, how I loathe the thing. And every day that quiet place seemed to heavy and heavier grow. And on I went, though the dogs were spent and the grub was getting low. The trail was bad and I felt half mad, but I swore I would not give in. And I'd often sing to the hateful thing, and I hearkened with a grin. Till I came to the marge of Lake Labarge, and a derelict there lay. It was jammed in the ice and I saw in a trice it was called the Alice May. And I looked at it and I thought a bit, and I looked at my frozen chum. Then here said I, seldom see. And I burrowed a hole in the glowing coal, and I stuffed in Sam McGee. Then I made a hike, for I didn't like to hear him sizzle so. And the heavens scowled, and the huskies howled, and the wind began to blow. It was icy cold, but the hot sweat rolled down my cheeks, and I don't know why. And the greasy smoke and an inky cloak went streaking down the sky. I do not know how long in the snow I wrestled with grisly fear, but the stars came out and they danced about. Here again I ventured near. I was sick with dread, but I bravely said I'll just take a peep inside. I guess he's cooked and it's time I looked, and the door I opened wide, and there sat Sam looking cool and calm in the heart of the furnace roar. And he wore a smile, you could see a mile, and he said, please close that door. It's fine in here, but I greatly fear you'll let in the cold and storm. Since I left Plumtree down in Tennessee, it's the first time I've been warm. There are strange things done in the midnight sun by the men who moil for gold. The Arctic trails have the secret tales that would make your blood run cold. The northern lights have seen strange sights, but the strangest they ever did see was that night on the marge of Lake LaBanche. I cremated Sam McGee. The summer is past, but your days keep growing longer. There's no wind in your sails, but the storm's blowing stronger. Walking hard, standing tall, keeping your head up through it all. Fighting fires, spinning plates. Goodness, how did it get so late? Lay your head down and dream. Lay your head down and dream. Lay your head down and dream. Lay your head down and just let your mind flow downstream. Sprawled out in a moonbeam. Lay your head down and dream. Joe Hills is filmed before a live streaming audience.
That's us. Howdy, y'all. Joe Hills here, recording as I always do in Nashville, Tennessee, and today y'all are my live streaming audience. Normally, you might be used to a little bit of a chill morning coffee stream. If you're just like, I usually tune in for the chill morning coffee stream at 8:30 a.m. Joe Hills' time. No, it may be closer to 2:30 p.m. my time. You know what? No chill morning coffee stream today. I am spending the weekend doing stuff with my kid. We're getting to the end of the school year, and she's going to be going to hang out with the other side of the family for most of the summer per the custody agreement. So we are cramming in as many fun things as possible, which means that I can't have a chill coffee morning stream. I got to have a high intensity, boom, flying around. Like what? Am I going to go to bed? I'm going to go to bed after flying into something because it's intense. Woo. That sort of thing. So Kaname's Cocoa Pie says, oh, gasp, a non-chill stream. What a surprise. Welcome. Also, YouTube. Oh, I got to mute my watch. Boy, I have, like, a lot of stuff going on. It has been a crazy morning already. Let's mute that. Why did we already do it? I got distracted and wasn't paying attention. Did we actually go to sleep? Yeah, we did. Okay. Perfect Fry says, morning coffee. Scream? Yes, indeed. Ah! Here we go. We got first five rolling in on the abacus there, thanks to Perfect Fry. We are 15 away from the next face camera expansion milestone, and tips are welcome via paypal.me/JoeHills and YouTube Super Chat. People were asking about the matches with Cub last night. They were super close. They were both super close. Cub has a really good new deck, and the improvements I've made to my deck have been pretty handy. But, okay. Let's see what we got here. We got all the blocks we need to continue working on the pixel art on that side of the machine. We've already done the right side. We're going to need to do... we're going to have to fix some of the green there. I'm still not thrilled with that. Evan Netta tips 30 shekels, who says, morning coffee started hard. I'm going to the kibbutz for Saturday. Oh, have fun. That is going to come out to 8 U.S. Abacus beads. So thank you very much, Evan. We've got an international audience here at the show. Let's go. Bum 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 bum. So yeah, let's see. With that putting us 7 away from the next face camera expansion milestone, I should probably post that tipping link again, just so it doesn't scroll off the top. Good morning, geek of many topics. Cha-Cha says those wings don't look like they're for this world much longer. That's actually a good point. I have been flying around a lot because False is Elytra course. We recorded a thing yesterday. These pickaxes are both almost done. It might actually be wise before we start our pixel art to make a quick run to the enchanting place. What do you call that? The Ender. I want to check on Mumbo's button real quick, too. I probably should have logged in over there for the not AFK, for the setup portion of the stream, but that's fine. It's still on green. So, I don't know how long it's been on one button, is kind of the thing. It still says I'm setting up. Yeah, I'm still setting up. Psychologically, I'm still figuring out. Okay. We're finding our center. Mahi0 says, I spent 20 minutes this morning thinking it was Saturday, but wondering why my weekday alarms were going off. It's going to be one of those days. Yeah, apparently. Okay, so we're going to leave this button going here. How long? Let's see how long it's got on the hopper clock here. Okay. 14, 13. So the thing is, when it does hit the end, it doesn't always... let's actually start a recording here. Mumbo's hopper clock is ticking down. We're looking at it through one of the backwards funnels here. Okay, so something shifted, I think. I'm not sure if that extinguishes a light every time it happens. Nope, it did a full count, but that light there is still lit. So we are not quite ready to press the button for yellow. That's fine. I got other stuff to do. I got tools to repair. I got pinball machines to pixel art. Here we go. Time skip. We're not actually going to use that clip. I was only going to use that clip if we came around and the, what do you call it? If it had decremented to yellow. I mostly just wanted to film hitting it on yellow. But that's fine. Into the portal. I guess you could say if the light dimmed, maybe. Sorry, the Nether is just terrible for my frame rate. If you stop and you look, you'll see another slideshow. Time after time. Da, 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 da. I will be waiting. Time after time. I keep forgetting to record what I'm going through here. It's fine. Is folding paused? Yeah, the Nether doesn't play nice with Bobby mod for some reason. I'm not sure if it's something about how we built our Nether in particular, because I only really use the Bobby mod on one server. But yeah, let's go. Gonna find the Ender men to end. Gotta strike them with the sword again and again. Okay, also let's make sure we've actually got our stuff we need repaired somewhere that we can switch to it easily. Yeah, it's a shame that Bobby Mod doesn't have different dimension settings. Yeah, that Astral Library causes frame rate problems for a lot of the hermits. For me, it never caused a problem until I installed the Bobby mod. Mosselbot says, I think it's the entities in the mob switch that cause the trouble. That's also possible. I don't know enough about this stuff. Okay, so let's see. We've been live 17 minutes. I finished... Yeah, my coffee is probably ready to pull for the French press. Could be Bobby rendering flowing lava in an increased radius. Well, the thing is, it's not actually flowing in that increased radius necessarily, because it's anything from outside of the server's render distance. It's just pulling the cached version of the chunk with time of day lighting updates. In theory, because there's no time of day in the Nether, it should run faster in the Nether. Because you'll notice when we look at chunks that are far away, when we're like on top of total chaos or decked out or whatever, you know, the time of day changes, lighting updates that still happened for all the other chunks. I'm gonna have my first sip of coffee. Ooh, this is still hot. Okay, so looks like we're good here. Am I also using sodium? I am. I know I could just fly away at this point, but I like getting the experience. Let's also turn our, oh, we forgot to turn the farm off, didn't we? I did not open the floor back up. So up and over we go. That was not as good a jump as I was hoping. Hey, that was pretty good. That's a super fast dimension change. Compared to, like, going through the portal or whatever. Like, that just loaded. Okay, just getting a quick stretch in. And, we'll save those ender pearls to take to Pearlescent Moon's trash shop later. I have been, kind of... I was gonna say collecting excess materials for that. And she says, "Morning, it's Friday." What? Oh no! No, I'm ready. I'm ready. Oh boy. And just says, I had Mantigag pick up breakfast as a treat. Oh, nice. Okay, so we do have 1 diamond from our mining efforts here. I feel like it's about to turn night into day. For those of y'all who missed the Thursday morning stream, I came in and I started sponging up and segmenting off a bunch of this stuff here. So we'll have more space under the subwoofer once it goes in, so we can actually look up and see it. That's not like that's more of a nice to have than a must have. But on days where it's like I haven't gotten a lot of sleep and I don't want to risk screwing up something that's got a lot of special dimensionality to it. Like, being unable to count out pixels on the pixel art can really throw off, you know, stuff if I'm too tired. Okay, so speaking of the pixel art, we're going to fly down here. Oh, no, you know what I should probably do is have my Totem of Undying in my offhand, because I am not being very disciplined about not dying. I forgot to move my Chops and Tots box back. This is fine. We're getting set up for the day. Chops and Tots box goes back in the ender chest. See? That's why we need a Chops and Tots box. So we can grab new Totems of Undying as we go. Okay. Well demonstrated, right, Red Umbrella. Thank you. I wish I could say that that was done for comedic effect, but that's just like my current caffeine level. My current caffeine level is probably should carry extra totems. Okay. So let's grab all this stuff here. I left my axe in one of the chests when I was shuffling ender pearls. Uh-oh. I think I know which one that was. Keith Williams says, I hear a Carolina wren. That's entirely possible. Oh, yep, I did. Okay. Yeah, I actually have the window mic for the birds. I can turn that up. I have a bandpass filter to kind of filter out some of the low-end stuff, so you shouldn't hear too many air conditioners or cars. Like, the street noise is all mostly a low rumble. You'll occasionally hear whines from engines or things that are not pitched so low, but it's kind of weird because I can still hear it all because the way the monitor works, I'm hearing the raw input, not the output. Did I replace the totem in my offhand or just put it in my inventory? Thank you, yes. We gonna borrow sponges from Jevin again? Not today. You know what I'm looking at? Is that mic isn't actually pointed the way I think it should be. No wonder I'm getting a little weird echo. Give me a second. I'm gonna fix that. Turning that way down there. Okay, then we'll turn that back up. Okay, so now I'm not getting that weird echo because that mic is pointed like 180 degrees from me. So, does the bird song come through on the server just for you on the stream? It comes through on the server too. So I was talking to Beef the other day, and I was like, I'm just hanging out with the birds. Badger Spanner says, there are wrens there, but that bird call right now is just a cardinal. Yeah, Badger likes birds. Actually got a North American bird guide while visiting. Okay, so up we go. Up we go. Ba-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Do-do-do-do. Okay, so we're here. Now, we've got 2 tools we need to help us with this. One of them is the camera account, which I don't currently have active. So let's go ahead and open up the laptop's camera account. Accessing Mojang services, fetching Minecraft profile. Okay, and then we also will have in the upper left our Photoshop image that we are working from. Okay, so we can see like the different points of interest here. Oh boy. Yeah, that's gonna be a particularly wild bit of all this, huh? Wow. So... right now it's hard to tell where we're standing because we don't have the camera app open yet. Or the camera, account open yet. Multiplayer, HC9, Season 9. Joe Hill C's joined the game so we can enable the Elgato. Oh, don't enable the Elgato while launching Minecraft, apparently. Because that failed. That... okay, so enable the Elgato before launching Minecraft, I learned. I'm going to keep it transparent for right now while we do the launcher, but... hey, welcome 5-Row Wolf Raiders. My name is Joe Hills. I'm broadcasting live from Nashville, Tennessee. We are about to be doing some pixel art on the side of my pinball machine. Let me zoom out here on the Photoshop window in the upper right there. So basically, I've got a space telescope image. I've got a space telescope image of a deep field, which is where they point the space telescope at one of the darkest parts of the sky and then take pictures of distant galaxies. And I've used that photograph, I've scaled it, and done some color reduction so that I can basically build it in as the skin on my colossal scale pinball machine here. Which if we come in and we can appreciate that from another angle. Doo-doo. So you see how the right side there, the stuff on the image matches the stuff you're seeing on the pinball machine. We've got the front coming around here. So it's just one continuous photograph is the entire skin of the machine. From this side, we've got where I kind of spray painted the name on the plywood for the prototype. I'm going to cover that part last because I like how it looks a lot. And then we've got this bit. And this bit is what we are working on today. I've got an inventory full of blocks. I've got... I'm opening up Minecraft now. So on my laptop, which I'm going to run the camera account Elgato feed into, or from there into OBS here. Okay, so now we can turn the Elgato visibility back on the camera. So basically, I can use the camera account to see in real time where I am in the picture. And then I can compare that to the Photoshop image on the upper left, which I'm going to zoom in on extensively here. Okay. Okay. So, yeah, where's the nearest point of interest to me? One pixel is one block. Yeah, I scaled this. So that's not the original scale of the photo. The original photo was like 190 megabytes from NASA. This is like an actual NASA Space Telescope photo that I have scaled down so that one block would be 1 pixel at the scale that I'm working. Chloe the Great and Powerful says, it looks so good. This time last year, it was a scaffold made of leaves. Fiber Wolf says, I did that before with the USS Enterprise. Awesome. Okay, so I'm looking at this here. Let me zoom in on this on the camera account just for reference. It looks like when I logged out, I was in the process of working on that bit. That almost feels like that should be... Yeah, let's do a light gray terracotta here. Maybe... Is that what we got up there? No. I really think I want something a little darker there. Brr, 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 brr. I think maybe we actually want to have an orange terracotta mixed in there, which I don't have right now in my inventory. So let's grab some of that. Orange terracotta, perfect. We can top off any other blocks that are running low down here. Brown terracotta. Black terracotta we're always running low on. Yellow, orange, pink, snow blocks, quartz, concrete. All that. And then it's about to be time to lay our heads down and dream anyway. Okay. So, also, you might notice I don't have bits or subscriptions. I accept tips directly via paypal.me/JoeHills and YouTube Super Chat. We are currently $7 away from our first face camera expansion of the stream. So, let's get some blocks placed. That always makes me feel like we're making progress. I either want to be adding a lot of blocks or removing a lot of blocks. I know technically a lot of the show is me talking regardless, but, like, I feel better about the amount that I say if it corresponds with, like, visual accomplishment. Okay, so we put that there. And then that should look good. Yeah, that looks right. So then from there, it looks like we go over 3. I'm going to mark with the ruler tool in Photoshop where I'm standing, so I know that. Okay, so we're going to go 1, 2, 3. Okay, and then that puts me there. Okay. Okay. Then... Oops. How did that happen? Oh, I mouse wheeled over, I guess. Okay, so we're going to put in a black terracotta here, and that's fine above that. Okay, so gonna go 1, 2. Gonna have 2 brown terracottas. We're gonna probably need some brown concrete. We're gonna need some gray terracotta here. So brown, brown, another brown, gray, concrete. It's a little more orangey. Oh, hey, Chloe the Great and Powerful, tip 7, it says, get out of there, the hot bar. Hey, we are indeed going to stop putting the hot in the hot bar. Please direct your attention now to slot 9, so I can say, oh, wow, slot 9 is actually obscured right now. Howdy, y'all. Crow Hills here, expanding as I always do in Nashville, Tennessee. Dee-da-dee-da-dee, dee-da-dee-da-dee-dee-dee. So now I'm over here in the lower left. Lofty says, is there no way to put the image into a program to split out Minecraft block recommendations? There's a whole bunch, but that doesn't feel like pixel art. That feels like pixel printing. So, like, right now, I've got a photograph that I experimented with the scaling on and then am interpreting the blocks on. That feels more like pixel art, right? If you're going to do something that's basically just a 3D print operation with no artistic interpretation or human element of choice, that feels like that's not a job for me. That's just not that's not my thing. You know what I mean? Like, different people have different goals. I want to increase my personal appreciation and understanding of the sort of stuff that comes back from space telescopes like this. And this is the best way for me personally to accomplish that goal. Okay, so... yeah. Gray terracotta there. So the other thing is, too, those sorts of software that you're describing looks at, like, the absolute color values of things and makes decisions, like, at an image-wide level, whereas I'm making I'm adapting the block palette kind of feature by feature to maintain kind of the sense of contrast and shape of the individual galaxies in such a way that might look less photorealistic at the end, but will look more there will be less visual noise. There won't just be, like, you know how sometimes when somebody adapts, like, a Minecraft pixel art thing using one of those pieces of software, there's just, like, a random green block somewhere because when you zoom out far enough that even it averages out. It's like that's not what we're doing. We're basically creating a drawing looking at a photo rather than printing a photo. It's an adaptive work. It's not adaptive. It's adapt. I can't pronounce the word now. We're still waking up here. It's a more adaptive work, though, I think is. Yeah. Okay. So this here should be blocks of coal. And then, oops. Concrete powder, black terracotta, coal. Okay, and then from there we've got nothing for 7 blocks up. It doesn't need to be legally transformative because NASA images are in the public domain in the first place. So that's so you're not wrong, Muscle Bop. That is technically true. If that were a requirement, but it's not. Yeah, it's more stylized, Rokan Shima. That's a good way to put it. Okay, so that's where that is there, and then so I think we're gonna do one more layer here. Okay. So if we zoom in up here, we can see that I am standing right standing directly above that. Yes, correct. Okay, cool. So that means we're gonna go over. 1, 2. We'll get out the gray terracotta here. Gonna have to make more of that soon. Brown terracotta. Brown concrete. Okay, so blue terracotta here. Okay, we got that kind of brownish, pinkish, greenish there. Brown mushroom here. Black terracotta over top of that, over top of that. Light gray terracotta here. Gray concrete up here. Light blue there. Okay, so then we're gonna go down here and have that be okay. A block of coal here. Block of coal there. We're gonna need to lay our heads down and dream. Yeah, okay. Philoof says, what are we building? We're doing pixel art on the side of our pinball machine. I've got Photoshop in the upper left and the camera account on the right. I'm realizing the camera account is not showcasing what I'm working on very well. Sorry about that. Lofty God says, I think that the process here is better. It just takes a lot more time. Well, that's true, but one of the goals of the show is to spend time creatively in an inspiring way. And I think if I spent 3 hours just, you know, doing something a printer could do, that would be less artistically and creatively encouraging for people, right? So it's not that, you know, it's okay if this takes a while, but it's not okay if I do a bad job, you know? Welcome, Sunflower Dragon. Okay. So, yeah, we are above. Let's zoom out in Photoshop a minute. Okay, so we are standing above there now, and there's really not too much until we hit that. There is a little bit of, like, glare kind of coming off that thing, some galactic dust. Up there, there's that point of interest here above us as well, but like okay, for the most part it looks like if we get this in, we can then start building up to that, and then we're gonna have that big white one there. Okay. Yeah, I've had people compliment me on this build, on this, like, behind the scenes on HermitCraft, who, like, normally don't think that what I do is very visually good. Because, like, we all have our own different entertainment styles and stuff, and I'm not seen as one of the better builders on the server necessarily. But I've had people be like, wait, you free-handed that? And I'm like, well, yeah, I mean, I eyeballed it and then built it. It's like, okay, yeah, pretty good. It's like, that's nice to hear, you know? So, like, let's see here. If we zoom back in on the camera over here. Okay, yeah. So, we are currently standing now directly here. Nope, that's wrong. Let's move over so we're more clearly on an individual block. Yeah, now we are directly above that one. Okay, great. Yep. Okay. Oh, wait. No. We're on top of those two. It actually looks like that one there, now that I'm looking at it closer, should be also a black terracotta. Black terracotta. Is that right? It's hard to tell. Okay. Okay, then we can fill in beneath there with concrete powder. Nope, that was not concrete powder. That is. Using gravity blocks on this for the main background color, that's a huge time saver and help. Okay. Okay, so I think we're gonna go brown concrete, brown terracotta. Gray terracotta. Mushroom block. Gray terracotta again. That feels like concrete powder, then black terracotta. I'm gonna have to grab more concrete powder shortly. Whoops. Yeah, definitely need more concrete powder. Then coal blocks here and here. Okay. And then, yeah, we'll be able to use a reasonable amount of concrete powder filling in this gap here. Yeah. Ooh, okay. Turn down the outside thing because I hear some people yelling. Yay, living in the city, you know you have to survive. Living in the city, you've got to keep the dream alive. Okay, so I think we're also gonna maybe... We're gonna be out of brown concrete real quick, like zip zip. But you know what, we'll come back for that after we maybe get some of this other stuff up and in. Oh, that purple terracotta is pretty. It doesn't really match what we're working on, but... George 1791 says, are you going to leave it as concrete powder or convert it to concrete when the art is done? So yeah, one of the finishing steps that I do on each side is to convert the concrete powder into concrete. So you see on this side, that gives it kind of a glossy black finish here. Which is what you would expect from the paint on the side of a pinball machine. So if we swing around this way... So this the other side we've already done the watering. But for right now, while it's a work in progress. Okay, so we're going up to here. Okay, let's actually hop down from there. We need to go... Okay, from here. When's the next real point of interest? Next real point of interest is up 8 blocks from there. Okay. Got some stuff off that way slightly, which we can also build toward, which is over here. How far out is that? Okay, we're gonna fly down here. Of course, it's nighttime. Dang it. So, it's hard with the black back wall to tell visually where the floors are here. Okay, so we just did that part. So I am currently standing now here. Okay, so let's figure out where that is on... So that's 2 blocks over and 2 blocks down. So I am... two blocks down. So I'm there. And then how high do we have to go to get to that next point of interest? Whoa! That was too much. That was way too much. The next point of interest is... Well, nope, that's not the next one. That's the second next one. You don't want to skip one. It's 14 up here. And... Okay. 15, feels like there's a little bit of like a ribbon type of thing almost there, but it's so faint. I feel like that's the sort of thing for right now. We're not going to stress about it too much because at this distance with the contrast level we're working at, it's not really in play. That's more of a refinement past touch-up thing. So we need to go up 14 blocks. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Nope, that was one too high. Okay. Do 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 do. Dun 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 dun. Bum 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 bum. Dun 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 dun. Dun 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 dun. Do 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 do. Bum bum bum. Bum 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 bum. Bum 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 ba da da. Do 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 da da. Do 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 da da. And then we can also go back this far on this way for a good ways. So let's go ahead and hop down here. Okay. Feeling pretty alright about this. How close are we to that next point of interest? Not very. Okay, so let's go back over here then. And that is directly... Okay, so that is lined up properly. Okay, so we are now standing here. And I can eyeball that and say that's going to be black terracotta, gray terracotta, and some powder mostly. And then 2 coal blocks in here. That's barely visible even. Then one of these here. We're back out to the concrete powders. Okay, so now we are coming back to this point. Okay, so that's where I'm standing there. That makes sense. And no point of interest for 3 blocks high, at least. Okay. Okay, so we're going to move this up 3 blocks here. And then over. So, interesting. That might have been a little bit too far that way, but we can make it work. So, working outwards from there, that block diagonally up there. Have a good one, Vicky, somebody. Okay. 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 I think there's a potential height issue here. No, that's right. No, that's right. That's fine. Okay. Just, hey, we are hitting the 1 hour mark. Just as a reminder, we are currently 20 even away from our next face camera expansion milestone, and tips are welcome via paypal.me/JoeHills and YouTube Super Chat. Okay. Okay. So, let's go. Okay, so thinking this through. Obviously, thinking things through is not my strong point. Iterating is. So, let's maybe just get in there and make some mistakes. Because, yeah, the more of this we can get done, the more of this that we can then move on to refining. Okay, sun's getting real low. Mahi0 says, gotta put the blocks down so I can move them by one later. I mean, you're not wrong. Oh, jeez. Just getting... Mode says, oh, now I see the tiny Joe in the corner. Yeah, I'm down here in the lower left. The camera gets bigger when we hit certain tipping milestones. We are currently 20 US ABIC speeds away from the next face camera expansion milestone. Okay, up we go. Bum, 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 bum. Morning, Mima Sweets. Glad you could join us. Okay, so let's swing back down here and evaluate this Photoshop bit a little bit more. Wait, that's... Okay, wait, we're actually right here. That was why I felt like it was off. Okay, because I was looking at it incorrectly. Okay. So 2, 3, 4. So that's gonna take us to 1, 2, 3, 4 here. If I'm doing that right, so that should be 9 blocks away from there. Okay, we got an off by 1 error somewhere in here, but it's not worth sorting at this point. Okay, so that is, now we've moved the camera up to here. Okay. So let's zoom in on the Photoshop thing again here. So if that's in the right place. Okay, so then that would go there. We would have a brown concrete here. Actually, no, brown terracotta here. Brown concrete there, and wait. Yeah. Okay, brown mushroom block here. I'm too far over. Somehow, I've gotten too far over. Yep. coal here. Whoops. Okay. So we want a gray. Terracotta there, I think. Another one of those there. We'll put a black terracotta up here. Brown concrete here. Gray terracotta above that. Black terracotta above that. Two grays right here. Some charcoal as well. Charcoal, go down here more. Okay. Mima Sweet says this is the first time I noticed the 2D view and it took me by surprise. Yeah, I've got the flying around camera set up there. Okay. We are a quarter of 10 a.m. here, U.S. Central Time. Just as a quick reminder, tips are welcome via paypal.me/JoeHills and YouTube Super Chat. Alrighty. Sun is getting real low in the sky there. I say I didn't accidentally repeat the same galaxy twice. No, good, good. Okay. Let me check something real quick. Pum 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 pum. Okay. Cool, cool, cool. So looking up there. Yeah, that's looking pretty good. Okay. Okay, so we're starting to get into these bright ones here. Oh, that's going to be its own whole thing. Just like that one down there, I'm going to have a similar block palette too. Oh, both of these. Oh boy. Getting some more coffee. Hannah says, go check the button. Well, the thing is, Hannah, I'm the only one online right now. So, no, there's not going to have been any progress on the button. Because it wasn't loaded, right? Jessica Wright tips 10 and says, the pixel art looks so cool. Love your idea. Hey, thank you very much, Jessica Wright. Let's go ahead and get that on our abacus here once we find a safe place to land. See, the button is exactly where we left it. That puts us 10 away from the next face camera expansion milestone. I actually could kind of use a breather, though. That pixel art stuff can get pretty intense, like, mentally. And we are going to be having a pretty significant palette swap, or palette change. Oops. For the next bit of that we need to do. Because we're going to need to switch over to a much whiter palette for both of these large globular galaxies. With the deep field spray paint side, will we be sanding the paint off or just painting over? We'll just be building in front of. I intentionally put the letters in there, basically so they'd be inside the plywood once we get the plywood walls on. So that shouldn't be a problem at all. But yeah, it does look like Mumbo actually removed 2.5 stacks of materials from the button. If we fly around here. Okay. Dang it, I missed my jump. But if we look at the oh, come on. If we look at the hopper clock, it looks like he removed 2.5 stacks. Because it was a fully loaded hopper clock before. And now it's actually down. No, he removed 2 3/4 stacks. So it's actually about to tick over again. I don't know if it's going to change the light on this time, though. But we can watch for it. So we can go see if the light's still going. Yep, so that light's still lit. How long? How long does a hopper clock run per stack of items? A single item, okay. Each item adds 0.8 seconds to the clock period. Okay, so if we know there are 128 plus 16 items in there, 144, times 0.8 seconds. So every 2 minutes, that piston pushes back and forth. And hey, welcome, Dottie Matrix. Mumbo made his hopper clock slower, though, because both are powered by torches half the time. So does that mean if they're powered by torches half the time, is that then 1.6 seconds? Wait. A hopper takes 0.4 seconds to transfer one item. So, in that case, we actually already doubled it by accident, because I was calculating the full cycle, not the swap back and forth. Or the, yeah, not just one direction. Me says, Doc discovered this in the video he just posted. It was hilarious. Oh, what was Doc saying? This, the redstone on this was crazy or something? Excuse me. Has anyone gotten diamonds from the machine yet? Not to my knowledge. But it's close. So if we're gonna have just a chill mental break while I look at the Photoshop thing here, let's go ahead and take off the camera there. So, like, just looking at the Photoshop bit, let me change my angle there so that's not blocking that. So I can pull this across the sky here, though. So, as you can see, there's a lot of whites and pinks and lavenders and purples and stuff in here. Light blue. So, a lot of the heart of this will probably end up being pearlescent frog lights, right? To get the center bright and illuminating. And then working out from there, quartz has a very, very slight pinkish tint to it. So we'll probably have some quartz and some white terracotta at first. It's basically going to end up being more saturated than what we're looking at in the Photoshop. Or more stepped, kind of, because of the way that colors work in Minecraft. But yeah. We'll have some grays then as it fades into like the oranges and browns. We're going to have to, bone blocks are good for a yellowish white, but this particular one is more of a pinkish white. So that would be quartz. Clay is a little bit lavender. Good point, Joss. Much. Yeah, some of these like more blue ones, clay could work with pretty well. And then we get more into our kind of chill brown. We got a little bit of green in here. Yeah, I got some green up and around there as well. You can use mushroom blocks for some of this. Brown concrete, mushroom blocks. Mushroom blocks. Brown terracotta, brown terracotta. So, I really wish there were more dark green blocks that weren't leaves, because leaves are partially transparent, and that's not really suitable for what I'm going for here. But yeah, could the inside texture of mushroom blocks be good for some of the bright parts? That's an interesting point. Oh, you know what? It's also, sun's getting real low. And, Pearl doesn't want beds left out over there. So, we gotta use this one. Dried kelp blocks are dark green, but they've got that weird white stripe across them. I'm trying to avoid stuff with, like, a clear texture like that too much. Like, I'm not using brick blocks, you know, either. Yeah, dark prismarine might be appropriate, actually, for some of this. Although, you know, just... yeah. Moss isn't dark enough. It's kind of actually brighter. You can put green wool behind the leaf blocks to fill in the transparency. Yeah, but they're going to be adjacent. You can see the blocks on either side of them too, though, right? It's kind of the problem with that. If I can do the whole thing, I want it to look more cartoonish. And I feel like having lots of solid colors will do that better. So, yeah. I'm also avoiding using traditional pixel art blocks, like wool, wood, and leaves, and stone in general. You'll notice for my grays, I'm not using stone really or andesite anywhere. I might go in and do some light touch-ups with that later, but I'm trying to kind of get out of my comfort zone in Minecraft, because the last times I've done like pixel art work, like at any big scale, it was basically all wool and stone and wood, because that's what was in the game like 10 years ago, right? So yeah, mud blocks are new. That's an interesting, what is it called? Rooted mud. Minecraft. Let's see what that looks like. Muddy mangrove roots are a new block. Okay. Yeah, that's more of a brown though. It might have a little bit of blue in it, but no green. Dyed shulkers don't load at a distance, Salient Bofa. So dyed shulkers work great for pixel art inside of tunnels or caves, in confined spaces where you know where the render distance, you know that people are within the render distance. But this pinball machine is so huge, you couldn't depend on anything like that. Like, chess won't load 128 blocks away, right? Yeah, muddy mangrove roots might be a good choice. Yeah, it's bluish, grayish, brown, which is potentially interesting. Okay, so for this one, we're seeing we're going to need a lot of green, we're going to need a lot of brown, we're going to need a lot of pink, a lot of purple, a lot of light blue. Let's compare that and contrast that with our other globular galaxy, which is this one here. As we scroll up, we are also going to have... This one will have definitely some dark prismarine in it. The greens in this one, right here, if I zoom in. Like, you can see that's like spot on prismarine. And dark prismarine there. So that one's easy. We'll put some blue ice in. I like this one up here. This isn't a galaxy, though. It's a star, which is why it's got that starburst from the diffraction spikes, as Heartsing puts it. Yeah, there's some good coppery colors in there. I like this one. It looks kind of like a fish or a dragon. Waterlogged leaves for greeny blue. Waterlogging leaves might actually be a better solution than putting stuff behind leaves, because I think it'll block visibility without adding depth, maybe, but I'm not 100% sure. Excuse me. But yeah, it's like a koi fish or something. It's very cool. But yeah, so we've got this whole thing. We're making huge progress. One thing I should probably also figure out is I should mark where the water line is on here, off to the side. Because I determined that at some point, but I didn't, like, write it down somewhere. So that's but I can go look at the front and the right side of the machine to reverse engineer that. So that's okay. It's just, you know, it's not done. It's simply not done. Okay. So, is the entire leaf block full if you waterlog it, or is the top pixel layer empty? I think it goes all the way to the top. I don't want to use mossy cobble because it's a old block. I'm trying to avoid using traditional pixel art blocks. I'm trying to push myself to experiment with new media as part of this exercise. Did we talk about options with glow lichen on top to add color? No, we haven't. There might be some cases where adding... does glow lichen render long distance? Or is it... Is glow lichen like shulkers, where it doesn't render from far away? Or chests? Salem says waterlogged leaves, the top pixel is empty, but I don't think it'd be noticeable at any distance. Yeah, I mean, that is the thing, is what we're looking at here is very good for zooming out. Look down, it's on the road. Well, I know, but like... Yeah, you know what, I see it pretty far away over there. It's like hard to notice, but yeah, you can definitely see it. Good thinking, Smarty Paints. So let's get back to eyeballing this. So once we get through these two globular galaxies here, the rest of this, we're gonna have this big open area in here. We got a few points of interest, little galaxies, very distant, very dim. Not gonna be much of a hassle to get that in. That thing there, that's easy. This is where we are now. We're actually like starting on this first layer of this globular one here. And maybe a few dark prismarine mixed in there. We're gonna need some greens up in there. That's gonna stretch into that. Maybe vines on top for some of them. Yeah, that's possible. I'm a little wary of using vines and glow lichen too aggressively, though, because I feel like it, I'm a little concerned it won't feel painted anymore if we have kind of depth changes. Like, I want this to feel like it's painted. The translight, which is like where the back glass is on the back box, that can have all sorts of cool texturing effects and whatnot because they do cool stuff with special ink and depth on those occasionally. Like you can really go nuts with the translight, but I kind of want the sides of the cabinet to feel like they're wood with paint on them. You know, so... But yeah, so we got a lot of light blues, very cool white colors in here. So maybe some snow blocks. And yeah, because snow blocks are like a whitish blue. Quartz is like a whitish pink. Bone's a whitish yellow. Or yellowish white. Bluish white. Pinkish white. You know what I mean. Strip spruce is brown with a touch of green. That's true. I'm really trying to avoid using wood for my first pass on any of this. Because, like, even though the stripped logs weren't in the game early on, like I said, when I've done pixel art, like, a decade ago, I was doing it with wood, wool, stone, mossy cobble. And I really want to try just not using any of those for the first iteration. If I need to go add them in as like accent colors on the second pass, then that's fine. But I want to see if I can get through the whole first pass, basically, using only new blocks. No wool, no wood, no stone. Basically, if it was in the game when I started playing, it's not a new block. And I started playing, like, a long time ago. But, yeah. A lot going on. Okay, so... Glazed terracotta is definitely new enough, but it's a little bit busier than I would like. Glazed terracotta is kind of too busy to use on the sides here. Normal terracotta, I'm fine with, but I'm kind of really trying to go with blocks that have as little texture as possible. Dark prismarine is more texture than I would like, but it's really going to be the only appropriate thing. I did put the middle stages of copper aging in there, even they're a little bit busy. They're not quite as wild as the other ones. Well, clay wasn't really used for pixel art much when the game was first. So before they added the swamp biome, clay was actually the rarest block in the game. And so people almost never used it. Would purpur work for the lavender color? You know, I hadn't even considered using purpur. I don't know if any of the... Most of this isn't dark, or isn't high saturation. Most of this isn't saturated enough purple to use purpur, I think, because purpur is kind of a high saturation hue, isn't it? I haven't looked at it much. Purpur Minecraft. But yeah, I feel like the purpur is kind of a... Yeah. Yeah, purpur is almost like shulker box. Maybe a few blocks of purpur in here would make sense. But basically, when you found clay, clay was more rare than diamonds. You know, if you built a brick house in Minecraft, you weren't just saying, stay away, wolves. Don't huff and puff this. You were also saying, look at how much I play this game. NJ says, purpur is a personal favorite block of mine. Nice. Okay. Just gonna, whoops. Make sure we've got the Minecraft window open here. Okay. I'm just putting in a marker because on the off chance that we need a replay mod thing of this ticking over because I'm not paying attention. Yeah, clay blocks have a good color for this, so we'll probably end up using some clay. I think I have some clay. Have a good job interview, Note Queen. There's also a bunch of clay underneath the shopping district and underneath the donut in the lush caves. So it's not rare anymore. Okay. Boom, 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 boom. Okay, so I mean, I don't know how recently this ticked over to the last green block is one of the problems. Like, if this thing is running on like a... I mean, we know Mumbo shortened the cycle by pulling blocks out of it. But I don't know by how much he shortened the cycle or how intentionally. Okay. Let's see. Any other really weird... So the purpur actually might have been a good choice for inside of here. But are there purpur that's not like the brick? I think you basically can only get like purpur brick, right? There's purpur block and purpur pillars. Oh, I didn't even know there were purpur pillars. Purpur pillar. Chiseled purpur and wait, there is a smooth purpur? How do you get the smooth purpur? Or is smooth purpur just the one that has the... Oh, smooth purpur is accessible only by commands in Bedrock Edition. Interesting. Well, we're not playing Bedrock Edition, so that's completely not a factor. So how do I make dark prismarine? That's gonna be a concern here. I need prismarine shards plus ink. Okay. I can theoretically just mine some out of my water temple, though. Yeah, it's not a fast button. Okay, I'm just looking at some of these other blocks in the wiki right now. I had forgotten about smooth sandstone. Sandstone is another one. That's an old style block that I didn't want to use too much of. The raw gold and raw iron are, I think, too busy for what I'm trying to accomplish here. It's a shame there's no smooth endstone. Because that blue, not bluish, the greenish yellow. You know, honestly, even the Moon Rocky uncut one, just the traditional endstone, might be suitable for certain cases where I need to bridge green and yellow. Smooth red sandstone would look good in the red oranges. Yeah. That's probably true. We have plenty of oranges, though, is the thing. Like, we're not running short on orange-hued blocks. It's just the dark green, where it's like, I need a dark green and a slightly darker dark green. Like, grumble, grumble, grumble. That's where I get into trouble there. Okay. Okay, so when we start looking at the bottom of this cabinet here, I'm probably going to start working on the bottom left side from the lower left corner so it covers the text last. Because the word deep is across the top, and then field is like starts a little bit in. So like if we could figure out like this area first, probably the word field probably comes in more like that, but I don't love the texture of the newer wood types, like which is why I'm not using mangrove or you know, though, that the stripped teal logs from the Nether might be a good one. Okay. Yeah. I mean, in terms of palette stuff, what we're going to need for the next side is basically the same when we, or the next side of the cabinet. Basically the same. We're going to need some white here. We're going to need pinks, oranges, dark purples, some clay for that one. A little bit more dark green. I mean, I'm not really seeing any huge, like, oh man, we need to go gather supplies type of things for any of this. We might be running out of some of this stuff incidentally, but none of it's like, oh boy, we're going to have to stage a expedition to go get something from far away. Yeah, stripped warp stem. Thank you, Mahi Zero. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Boom, 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 boom. Alrighty, I think we're probably gonna wrap up the stream in about 10 minutes. I have not slept well the last few days, and I was hoping to get a good night's sleep last night, but that did not happen. So I'm gonna probably go take a nap after this. Let's go ahead and say that tips are welcome via paypal.me/showhills and YouTube Super Chat. Just as a reminder, there is no stream tonight or tomorrow night. My next stream on the schedule is going to be Sunday evening at 8:30 p.m. U.S. Central Time. So I do kind of want to see how close we are to this turning over before we go. Oh, I think it just moved. I just heard a piston fire. Does that mean it... Nope. Nope, nope, nope. Dang it. That's fine. Okay. So let me see who we can read. Twitch.tv/directory/following. Boom, boom. Boom, boom, boom. Dun, 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 dun. Ba, da, da. Da, da, da. Do, 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 do. Ooh, is this fishtails? Okay. I've got to make myself some food before I take my nap, so... Let's see. I don't know this guy. I can't vouch for this guy, but he looks like he's playing fishtails, and his stream looks pretty competently set up. He's got a decent number of viewers. Small-time streamer from Mississippi. Awesome. Good to see the South represented. Please show respect to LGBTQ community. Yes. Okay, we're going to go ahead. Well, the thing is, I don't like to raid the same person like 2 days in a row. It looks kind of like Notice me, senpai. That's not cool. That's not the vibe I'm going for. So, okay, we're going to go ahead and raid this guy. I don't know him. I can't vouch for him, but he is playing a game I like, which is called Fishtails. I've played this on location at a few different pinball arcades and tournaments and stuff. He's playing the digital version as part of Pinball FX 3. When you get over there, our raid message is, howdy y'all, Joe Hills raid here. Anyway, until next time y'all, this is Joe Hills from Nashville, Tennessee. Keep adventuring. Do 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 do. Stop streaming. Stop in the stream.